Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. It's Conscious Medium Brandon Russ. I'm hoping we got all of our technical stuff squared away. No more crackling, no more crackling. But listen, I wanted to come to you to talk about the Joe Biden ghost experience. Some of you have been commenting most fastidiously about his call out to Jackie Walorski. Now, Jackie is was a representative from Indiana who passed away earlier this year, actually right at the tail end of the summer, middle of the summer, with a couple of her staffers. She was in a horrific car accident. But Jackie Walorski was actually part of the bill that was just announced. And he kind of reached out to her to kind of be like, where's Jackie? And a lot of people, like, I get, Joe is called Sleepy Joe. I get that he's a little bit not as enthusiastic as people would like, but is there leadership in it? Well, sparing a really deep dive, which I do have a video coming with this, but I've approached it in a way where I want to take a look at not only Joe Biden, but also where his highlights were in his career and why he became who he is. I think he's fascinating on a lot of levels, even though he might be a little bit boring. For the sake of our conversation here today, people have been asking me, is Joe Biden a medium? And it's funny, Penny and I in our weekly, I hadn't actually seen the news about this, and she pointed it out, and it made me look up and do a deep dive. That's why I love Whiskey and Bagels. It makes you think. But I want to point out a couple of things in his chart for the sake of this conversation, and then we're going to roll tape, and I'm going to tell you what's actually going on from a spiritual standpoint. So here's his chart, and again, not doing the deep dive here, but a couple of things that are sitting right on the surface. He is a fixed Grand Cross. Yes, that's a little rare. He also has so much Scorpio, he's dripping in Scorpio. He's a Scorpio, Scorpio, Scorpio. Scorpio and Scorpio. Now, his rising is Sagittarius, but all of his hallmarks are right there. Now, the 12th house is really, really busy here. He has his sun, he has Mercury, he has Venus, he has Mars, all sitting right here in Scorpio. That, as a tendency, is about how you create, how you communicate, how you keep things from people. It also means how you can detach and just move on to the next thing. All these things are really important to a politician. How does he use it? Well, his fixed Grand Cross, as most crosses are formed by the north and south node, his north node being in Virgo, trying to do the right thing, and his south node being in Pisces. I like to be creative. Sometimes that's creative accounting. But the balance of this, and opposite his Venus Sun conjunct here, that's in the 12th house, is Uranus, which, by the way, is also conjunct with Saturn. So you have Saturn and Uranus in conjunct, creating a Grand Cross, the T of the Grand Cross with the Sun and Venus. And by the way, also noteworthy, Mercury's right there in conjunct, wide conjunct to Mars. The thing I want to point out to is Joe Biden a medium? Well, he has a couple of hallmarks here. First of all, when you look at psychic ability, when you look at mediumship, when you look at intuition, you look at the 4th, 8th, and 12th house. That is where you are drawn from. In the 4th house, it is really about your family, any lineage, any psychic ability. He is a water sign in all 3 of those houses. That is an absolute hallmark to that. Second of all, in the 8th house, he has Jupiter and Pluto, his power base. Now, they're a wide conjunct. Calm down, everybody. Although, just outside of it, he's not too far from it being an actual conjunct. But the 8th house, of course, is the Scorpio house. 4th being Cancer, 8th being Scorpio. And in that, having the power planets right there, you better believe he can know it. He could also not use it for good. He could use and manipulate. He could very easily get information and then use it for his own devices. He is a politician. And then, of course, in his 12th house, he has his sun. He has Venus. He has Mercury. he is a walking dichotomy, and if I didn't know this chart any better to be Joe Biden, I would literally say this guy's a working medium. So, what I want to do now is roll tape on the video footage of him talking to and calling out Jackie. I'm going to switch over to that, and I'm going to make commentary on this. And what I want to plant the seed from is the idea that what Joe Biden is actually going through is a term I like to say as soul nesting. What soul nesting is what you go through towards the end stages of your life. Now, everybody, I'm not predicting anything. I know not the hour nor the place. But it's pretty clear to anyone that knows him and has seen any part of his arc, say even 12 years ago when he was, when he became the vice president, he's a much different person, and age is the obvious reason. Well, what I'm about to show you and point out, you will understand that he actually went through a spiritual experience. I'm going to roll the tape right here, and we'll go from there.
So many of you know so much about this as well, and you're committed. And I want to thank all of you here, for including bipartisan elected officials like Representative Governor, Senator Braun, Senator Booker, Representative...
He's dragging his left
Jackie,
arm.
Are you here? Where's Jackie? I didn't think she was going to be here.
And today, the president appeared to look around the room for an audience member, a member of Congress who passed away last month. He seemed to indicate she might be in the room.
The president was, as you all know, you guys were watching today's event, a very important event on food insecurity. The president was naming the congressional champions on this issue and was acknowledging her incredible work.
Clever save.
He had already planned to welcome the Congresswoman's family to the White House on Friday. There will be a bill signing in her honor this coming Friday. So, of course, she was on his mind. She was up top of mind for the president. He very much looks forward to discussing her remarkable legacy of public service with them when he sees her family this coming Friday.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos.
Thanks, George. I'll take it from here. What you just saw was his staffers kind of going, oh no, what's going on? And by the way, being able to cover for someone like Joe Biden in a moment like this is a very human thing. And by the way, we do it all the time with our loved ones when they're kind of screwing up and you just don't want to see anything go bad or wrong for them. One of the dynamics that I want to point out to this is, first of all, in honoring Jackie Wolosky. She was someone that wanted to make sure that things were done the right way. And again, politics aside, I'm sure she had some, boneheaded ideas. Every politician does. I'm sure she was compromised in some way because you don't become a politician at a federal level without shaking some hands and kissing some babies that maybe you shouldn't have. But that being said, I'm going to replay that first part of it, and I want you to recognize that Joe was genuinely thinking she was there. When you soul nest, you're able to leave your body. In Alzheimer's patients, it's very easy for them to do. As a matter of fact, when they are in that stage, they're able to leave their body, and what they go and experience are things like, a family reunion or a favorite holiday that they were in. What their soul is going through is the rest and relaxation and knowing that it's okay. They're helping them overcome fear. Because what they see are people on the other side, their loved ones, the people that they're connected to, people that can give them solace in the moment, parents, grandparents, friends, family. It doesn't necessarily mean one particular person. But I can guarantee one thing is that as that is happening, what they're realizing is that, wow, I'm still in my body. That's why Alzheimer's patients and even dementia tend to be a little angry when they get back into their body because what they're experiencing is this beautiful peacefulness that they no longer have to feel pain or anger. I'm going to play this clip again, and I just want to watch the beginning of it and take a look at what Joe does. Joe is actually feeling her. And yes, he's reading from script. And yes, I understand there's a lot of things you can debunk. But now I want you to think about this, that maybe he's experiencing Jackie's spirit as he's speaking. Watch it again.
So many of you know so much about this as well, and you're committed. And I want to thank all of you here, for including bipartisan elected officials.
You see that stutter?
Like Representative Governor, Senator Braun, Senator Booker.
He's slurring because he's staying in the moment.
Jackie, are you here? Where's Jackie? I didn't think she was going to be here.
And today, the president appeared to look around the room.
The message from Jackie was, I wish I was there with you. I'm a medium and I talk to dead people, and I'm telling you, watch this again. Spirit is coming to them. And by the way, Spirit will communicate in a way that you'll understand it. Joe Biden received a message and became a messenger and a conduit. Watch it again. The message is, I wish I could be there.
So many of you know so much about this as well, and you're committed. And I want to thank all of you here, for including bipartisan elected officials like Representative Governor, Senator Braun, Senator Booker, Representative Jackie. Are you here? Where's Jackie? I didn't think she was going to be here.
And today, the president appeared to look around.
You just watch a sitting president be a conduit for someone that has passed. I know not the hour nor the place, but we all kind of see it in Joe. We kind of know what's going on, and I don't care what your political affiliation is. Let's treat him with kindness. The man stepped up. The man was sitting on a rocking chair, drinking his lemonade, and then somebody said, "Can you kind of run things again?" And he said, "Well, yeah, I'll do that." He's showing his patriotism. He's showing his loyalty. He was not trying to climb to the top anymore. He was perfectly okay with having a bromance with other retired people like, say, Barack. And the flip side of that, what you just witnessed is something that we're going to have to get used to. And that is accepting the Spirit is working with us all the time. Everybody's talking about we need to raise our consciousness. Well, when you ignore the signs from the universe just kind of takes care of it for you. In tarot, we call it the tower moment. In energy maintenance, sometimes it's called karmatic relations. The idea that we are beginning to move into a time where Spirit is just kind of taking over, we got to make sure we're prepared for that, because our consciousness is happening whether we want it to or not. It won't be reserved for those that are trying to review stock in their life before they cross over. Whether you acknowledge it or not, Spirit's working with us every day. This has been an example of how Joe Biden literally is working with Spirit. I want to thank you guys for being a part of things here. I'm going to give you the heart tap and remind you all to simply keep going.